Hello Facebook. Today we're going to be talking about racism. Well, I will be. Um, First, let's give a definition. Racism is a belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. Second, a racial prejudice or discrimination. Um, First, I'm going to give you an idea of my struggles with racism. I'm biracial. I am Black and Native American. Um, I was raised in a predominantly white town in Oklahoma, a small town, and I was the only Black girl in school. I did have problems with having friends. Kids are not generally racist until they, hear things from their parents and whatnot. So generally they'll first, be real friendly with me. They knew I looked different, but you know, they didn't judge me until, the parents will be like, well, I'm not sure what they said, but after a while they'll let me know that they cannot, be around me anymore. So, and then afterwards, I was being raised with my Native American side, and I'm not sure if they were trying to be cruel or whatnot, but um, they had their own ideas of how Black people were, automatically thought they were thieves. I even had occasion where, I had one cousin that we used to hang out with, and her mother would advise her to watch out, you know, with, for her things, her toys, because she was afraid that, her Black cousin, would take her toys or whatnot. So that's where I had to personally deal with it. I mean, um, afterwards, I did move to another town, and it was, you know, I would say it's like 50% Black, um, and I expected acceptance. Unfortunately, with that is that they basically said that, you know, I try to act white. I mean, I really don't know, and don't completely understand what they mean by acting white. I mean, I don't know if it was what I wore or the way I spoke. I mean, it could have a lot to do with both. But, when I finally was able to be around Black kids, it felt like even at that time I had to suffer with racism from my other part of my own race because they, judge me as well. So now that I'm older, um, I realize that, people are, in generally is, afraid of what is different. That's really what I feel racism is. It's fear of the different that, produces into something else. It becomes, anger, then it becomes hatred and it, blossoms from there. Um, Really, what I would say is that the only way to deal with racism is for others really to not let it affect them as people. Don't let, you know, don't generalize people. You know, um, if you got a problem with somebody who's Black, um, don't say, okay, well, just because I have a problem with this one person, that now I have to have a problem with all of them as a group. It don't work like that. Not everyone's the same. It's like me categorizing, a white person. Saying just because one white person did something, all of them are the same, and that's not true. So it's not true with any other race. And also, if you would look through history, you could tell that um, usually when there's a dominant race, they find a way of trying to, make themselves superior to the minority races. Um, and that happens with all groups of races. Not, I mean, everybody's had. Every racial group has had a time in history where they, did genocide or, promoted hatred for another group just because they were the minority. And so, one thing that I also was talking to a friend about is You know, like I said, I'm biracial, so I have no problem with interracial dating. But when you generally ask black men why they would date a white girl or any other race, or why that's their preference, the first thing they do is, they don't emphasize the good qualities in the races or what attracts them to the other races. They automatically will be like, okay, black girls are this, black girls are that, black girls are loud, black girls are ghetto, black girls don't know how to treat a man, they don't know how to talk to a man. That's racism as well, because I have a lot of black friends, and we are extremely different. We're different in regards to how we, treat our men. We're different in the ways we talk. I mean, and correspond. I mean, you cannot put a whole group of people into one category. It's impossible because we're all individuals. We have our own ways. Yes, sometimes we have societal similarities, but I wasn't raised rich. I didn't come from the suburbs. As a matter of fact, I kind of like a lot of a huge part of my life I lived in the project, and so how if you met me, you wouldn't automatically assume that's where I came from because you already got it stereotyped in your mind how a black girl from the ghettos would act, and so I just wanted to put that out there, in regards to racism, how I feel about it. I have had to deal with racism from white, my own family, black, Native American, and I just wanted to say that, racism's ignorance. Don't let your mind get caught up in stereotypes and, generalizations. Um, well, thank you for watching.